Wow, this is a bad angle, but I'm showing you my real self as a nursing student, okay? Hey guys, welcome to another vlog in the daily life or the weekly life of a nursing student. Today is a stressful day for me, even though I don't really feel stressed too much, but I have a lot going on this week. Well, let me tell you. So tomorrow I have an exam which I haven't studied well for, so that's unfortunate. I have med cards which I'm currently doing. I have to find the pathophysiology for the main medical issue for my patient that we'll be seeing tomorrow in clinicals. Then I have a maxi care plan I need to finish by Thursday, and I am halfway done, so that's not too bad. I have a presentation also Thursday. I haven't met up with my group yet. It's a group presentation. It's only a 2-minute one, but still I hate presenting anything, so that should be interesting. On Wednesday I have another assignment, a written one I need to do. I have to do the reading for, which I haven't done. I have a check off, pass or fail one this Friday on sterile technique and catheterization. I don't have my skills up until Thursday, the day beforehand, so I won't really be learning the actual technique of applying it physically until that Thursday. And I'll have to have it memorized and do it correctly by that Friday in the morning. And finally, health assessment. Here we go. Head to toe exam, which I'm sure every person in nursing school knows about, and you will get to know once you're in nursing school. And yep, it's a head to toe assessment. I have that a week from tomorrow. And I have to study for it, and I haven't yet. So come on with me and see me struggle. Hey guys, it's Tuesday. I just took a shower. I came from the gym. I worked out with my classmates and we also played tennis, which is awesome because I haven't played in what seems like a long time. So that was great. I'm a little bit tired now, but I got a lot of work to do still, like I had told you yesterday. Today I just had clinicals in the morning and then had a test. I ate some dinner and yeah, just going to work on things. I just have to study for some upcoming quizzes. I want to get ahead of the game for next week because I'm going camping this weekend, so I just want to get all my work done beforehand. I need to start studying for my check off this Friday. Head to toe for next week. I need to do my clinical journal today, nursing diagnoses on patients I had in clinicals, and I kind of want to finish my maxi care plan, but that's not due until next week. I need to look over what I'm presenting on Thursday, also do my notes for tomorrow, and also for next week work on a packet. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna actually try to show you what I'm doing so it's not just my face and me talking about things. Well, this is a bad angle, but I'm showing you my real self as a nursing student, okay? Anyways, I just saw my score from the exam I took this morning, and I didn't do as bad as I thought I did, which is good, but I still wish I would have gotten a higher score. I got a 91.67%. It's decent. I really wanted to aim for almost 100%. Of course, you know, always want to aim for the highest score possible, but I'm content with this. I hope I can pull off getting an A in this class. I mean, most of my scores have been good so far. The lowest was just the first exam, which I got 87%. It's looking good, but then again, this class is weighted really high, so like I think to get a solid A, you have to have a 95% or above, so I don't know if I'm gonna get that solid A, which is a little disappointing, but hopefully I just keep it up so I get as close as possible to the grade that I want. But yeah, every time I finish making a test, I just ask myself, what could I have done better to have studied? I just gotta figure out what to do. I mean, what I did better this time, I guess, was kind of organize the objectives in one spot with the table, which I'll show you in a second. However, I think what I didn't do was review every night after the lectures, nor did I like study a week in advance. I just started in-depth study barely on Sunday and more yesterday, which is not good because I'm not the best at cramming, so that's something I don't want to get in the habit of. But luckily this time it wasn't too bad of a deal. Then again, I still want to aim for a higher score, so alright, here, I'll show you the table I made for it. Okay, so this is kind of what I did. So here I have the dates and the lecture title, and also the title is in the book, the chapter, and the pages to find it, so I could go back and reference the book. And then here I have the objectives, which my teacher gave all of us to look up and to understand, and it's just one of the objectives on this column. And here's the answers to the objectives. So, for example, this one's describe components of self-concept and exclude everything that I read in the book that relates to self-concept. And I like to take really in-depth notes, so it's a lot of extra information, but I feel like it's better to know more than you need to. Then again, it does make it hard to like study because it's just a lot of information, but it's good to know as much as possible. So yeah, that's pretty much all I did. And then sometimes I put little notes on the side, like look at the chapter questions at the end. I also make tables within tables. Like for this one, this is the developmental stages. And I like having this in Google Drive because I can also just look at my phone wherever, so I could just study whenever possible. But yeah, I pretty much did that for all the lectures. It's still not the best to look at because it's just really widespread, but at least everything's here. I still have yet to find a better way for me to do things. It's good to just have all this information here in one spot because the final is cumulative, so at least I can go back and just review all the sections all in this document. So that's helpful. If I were to have wrote it down, it'd be like the same thing, but writing it would take longer, even though studies do show that if you write things down, you remember it more. Had I had more time, maybe I would have gone and done that too, but I honestly didn't, and I didn't make time for it, so yeah, this will do for now. And plus, since it's online, it's always there. If I were to have on notes, I might just disorganize it or lose it somewhere. So at least with it online, it's neat and it's in one spot where you know where it is all the time. Sugar glider.
Sugar glider.
Chipotle leftovers for dinner. To get an idea of a portion size of Chipotle, this is not even the full bowl. Like, there's still a quarter left, and wow, look at that. That's a lot. Hey guys, so this week has been a little bit hectic, but today I didn't have clinicals. I had skills lab this morning, so we learned about catheterization, and I have my check off for that tomorrow, so I'm just gonna study that. I have my little catheter kit over here to practice, and then maybe I'll show you a little demo on how I'm doing that. Tomorrow I'm wanting to, my friends are planning to go camping at this local lake, and I want to go. My plan is to go, but I really need to finish everything. That's the goal for today. Will we finish it? Well, we're gonna find out, so I'm gonna get started. Hey, so I'm just gonna give you a little run through of what a checkup would be for catheterization. I struggle at saying that word. But yeah, so we're gonna pretend that this is the patient bed. Here's the head of the bed. This is the patient and this is the perineal area. We're just gonna pretend, okay? Yeah, I'm gonna just start from the beginning. So we're gonna pretend this is the doctor's order. So I'm checking to see the order to see if the patient, so we're gonna say the patient is John B. Smith. Or she is, let's not make it John, let's make it Johanna. We're putting it in a female. Age, yada yada yada. There's no known allergies. Johanna just had a C-section yesterday in her abdomen. And today the doctor had ordered a straight catheterization for 9 a.m. I've confirmed that, so now I'm going to go introduce myself to the patient, and I'm going to the patient's room. Hi, good morning, Miss Smith. My name is Jennifer. I'm a student nurse. I'm going to be with you today for your procedure, but before I explain anything, do you mind if I check your wristband? And can you tell me your full name, including your middle initial and your date of birth? Thank you. And do you happen to know if you're allergic to betadine, iodine, shellfish, latex, or any adhesive tapes? No? Okay, good. So today your doctor has ordered to have a straight catheter placed in you, and basically this procedure involves me putting a tube into your bladder, and that tube will take away any of the fluid that's still in your bladder, any urine that's in there, and help relieve the pressure that you may be feeling right now. How does that sound? Okay, awesome. So before we get started, I'm just going to assess your bladder area. So what I'm going to do is just raise the bed to my hip so I don't break my back, and I'm just going to look at your bladder. Before doing that, I'm going to do some hand hygiene, and then I'm raising the bed to my waist level, so pretend that it's there. And so I'm going to be inspecting my patient's bladder. And so the bladder, I'm trying to see if it's a convex shape. That means that the bladder is full of water. And now I'm going to percuss, so I'm going to percuss with my middle finger on the bladder and around. And the area surrounding the bladder will have the sound of timpani because there's only air, but the area over the bladder will sound dull, meaning that there is fluid in there. Finally, I'm going to palpate, so I'm going to take care not to press too much since my client just had a surgery yesterday, a C-section, but all I'm trying to feel is the shape of the bladder, which is feeling round and it's feeling firm, meaning that it has fluid in it. After I've done expecting all of this, place my client in the right position. So, okay, Ms. Smith, I'm going to have you be in a dorsal recombinant position, which basically means you're going to be lying down flat, and then I'm going to have you externally rotate your hips as the best you can with your feet planted on the bed, or you can have your feet in a frog-legged position with your feet together. And so after positioning my client that, I'm going to drape my client appropriately, so I'm just going to be covering all her areas except her private area, which we'll be working with. So now that that's taken care of, I'm going to start opening the supplies. I have closed urethral tray with vinyl catheter. So this item would have gotten when I had looked at the order, the doctor's order, and brought it with me into the room. So this is, I would open it earlier because we practiced in class, but just pretend that it's not open yet. So I'm opening it, taking it out, and taking care of, to make sure I don't touch the inside of the flap. I'm going to keep this for later for documentation, and then I'm going to make this into a little trash bag to put the trash into. Also, I'm standing at the right side of my patient because I'm right-handed, so keep that in mind. I am going to open up. When opening up anything sterile, you want to open it starting away from you. So, let me move the camera. Remember, this is the client right here. These are the legs, and this is the perineal area. So, when opening up anything sterile, I want to start by opening it away. So I'm just going to take the corner and open it away from me, taking care not to go over it. And then I'm going to take the next corner.
And then I can just adjust all of it. And then we'll take, where's the next corner? I believe it's here. Yes. And this corner right here.
And keep in mind, you only have a 1-inch border which you could touch. That is not sterile, otherwise everything else is sterile. So I'm just going to position it a little bit away from the perineal area. So now that that's done, I'm going to take the waterproof drape. So I'm going to just touch the corner, and I'm going to take it over here, and what I'm going to do is going to have the shiny side, I don't know if you can see it, but the shiny side is going to be pointed towards me because that's the side I want to go down, and I'm going to be placing it down like a matador, so like this. And keep in mind, you still want to keep this above your waist level to keep it sterile. And I'm just going to go here, and sorry, there's a fan, so it's not sitting a little bit. Yes, so that should work. Now I'm going to do my sterile gloves. So I'm just going to go pick it up as best I can. And at this point, I would have a side table to put this on, but pretend this is a side table. So just going to open this. Okay, now I have my gloves. These are sterile gloves, so I need to keep it above my waist at all times. So now I'm going to put the fenestrated drape, which is right here. So I'm just going to grab a corner. Oh, I would fan it out not over the sterile area, so I messed that up. So I fan it over here to the side, and then I'm just going to take the other corner, just two. Once again, matador style, but I'm going to protect my gloves from touching the client by putting my thumb on the outside and my fingers in, as you can see here. So I'm just going to place it like that with the perineal area where that opening is. Okay, so at this point my gloves are sterile, so I can touch all the items in here. And so I'm just going to move this over the overlap, and I'm going to separate, well, I'm going to take this out. Since the order of the doctor did not specify needing to get a specimen, so I don't really need this, so I'm just going to put it to the side. So I'm just going to separate these cotton balls to make sure they're not sticking together. They're all separated, so that's good. Now I'm going to check if the tubing of the catheter is tight. I don't want it falling on me. And yes, it's secure, and I want to unclamp it. So it's unclamped, so that's good. I want to lube the catheter now while I can. So normally this would be closed, I opened it earlier, but so I'd open it and then I'd put the tip of the catheter in here. So I'm just going to set it aside for now. I'm going to bring this towards me a little bit.
And so, I'm going to move this label, and then I'll put this picture. So now,
if I was really doing this, I would open this betadine and pour all of the contents into the cotton balls. And after that, I would put it in the trash bag to the side. Okay, and then now I'm going to cleanse the perineal area, so I'm just gonna warn my client. Okay, Miss Smith, I'm ready to clean your private area. It's going to feel a little cold because of the cleaning solution, okay? So now I'm going to use my thumb and my ring finger to hold open the labia majora. So now that it's spread apart, I'm going to take these pliers and use a cotton ball and wash from front to back on one side of the labia majora. Toss it, get a new cotton ball, cleanse from front to back, toss it. So now I've cleansed the labia majora. So now I'm going to cleanse the labia minora. So I'm going to use my middle finger and my pointer finger to hold open the labia minora. And then I'm going to do the same thing, cleanse from front to back, and then cleanse front to back. Okay. And finally, I'm going to cleanse the urinary meatus where the catheter will be placed inside, which is just in the middle. So I'm just going to cleanse that front to back. I can toss some pliers after that. So I'm still holding labia majora and labia minora apart so they don't come together. And so now I'm going to insert the catheter. So I'm going to tell my client, okay, Ms. Smith, I'm about to insert the catheter. So on the count of 3, I want you to take a deep breath and bear down, okay? So first I'm going to remove the lube, and then when you're inserting it in the female, you want to go 1 to 2 inches inside or until the urine comes out. Okay, so I'm going to go in. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Inserted it, and then let's say the urine is coming out now. So after I insert it, I could use my non-dominant hand to hold it there. Let's say it's done, no more urine is coming out. So now, okay, Miss Smith, I'm going to remove the catheter smoothly and slowly. On the count of 3, take a deep breath. Before removing, I would pinch. And then I would remove it 1, 2, 3. And after I removed it, the sterile area is no more. So now I can just let go of the pinch, let the urine go into the container, whatever's left, and then I'm going to clamp. And then I'm going to set it aside for now, because we're going to measure after we're done. So first, after that, I'm just going to remove all my supplies. I would do right now, but because I'm saving my supplies for practice, you're not going to see that. I'm just going to verbalize. So I removed my supplies, I've discarded them, and I'm going to wash the perineal area of my client again with some wipes to get rid of the betadine solutions. Ms. Smith, I'm just going to cleanse your perineal area one more time with some wipes. So I'm just cleaning it front to back, front to back. After that, make sure my client's comfortable, so I'm going to cover her private area, place the bed down for her safety, give her the call light for her to call for anything, and also make sure she's in a comfortable position for herself, whether the bed is up or down. And then I'm also going to ask, okay, Ms. Smith, so what of the procedure? How do you feel about it? And then I'm going to see how she reacted to it. So after that, I'm going to take off my gloves. Okay, so I already put everything away, but anyways, at this point, the client's already comfortable and is in the room, so I left the client where they're at with the bed all the way down, and I have with me the catheter, so I'm just going to measure the urine output. So by doing that, you can't trust the measurements on the actual bladder because it's not accurate, so you want to pour it out into a container, then you can measure the output. And so after that, you have to look at the characteristics, and now you're going to document everything that had just happened. The acronym that we learned is C cards. So the first C is what catheter you used and the size of it. So we used an intermittent catheter, and it was a size 14 French. The next C is the characteristics of the urine. So the urine, let's just say it was straw colored, there was no sediment, there was no blood, and it was clear. The next letter is A, which is the amount of urine. So let's just say we got about 100 milliliters of urine. The next letter is R, so that is how the patient responded. So after you did the whole procedure, you would ask the patient obviously how they felt about it and if they feel better and all that. Let's just say my client felt no discomfort during the procedure and afterwards felt no more pressure because of the relief of the urine. The next letter is D, which is the date and time. So today's May 18th. The time, let's just say it was ordered at 9 a.m. so we gave it at 9 a.m. S, which would be specimen or securement. Had the order also had been to get a specimen of the urine, you would have separated the two tubes from the catheter tube and the blue tip, I don't know if you noticed earlier, from the actual bagging. And then from there you want to keep that sterile, then open the container for the specimen, pour about 30 to 40 milliliters in that, and then you would close it, making sure the inside of the cap and of the actual container itself is sterile. And then you would put the label and label it at the bedside, not after you left the room, but at the bedside. But then you have to remember whatever amount you put in there, you have to add it up to the total amount of output after you measured the rest of the urine in the separate container. So that would be your total urine amount. And then for securement, that would be for an indwelling catheter, for example, a male, in which you would tape it to the side or something. That's about it. You document all of that, and then you're done with the catheter check off, at least for my school. Yeah, also advice, definitely tie your hair up in a bun, not in a ponytail, so that it doesn't like flare into the sterile area. Remember everything above your waist, and the matador style of holding the drapes is important too. Also protecting your fingers when putting on the fenestrated drape. Hope that was helpful. Definitely was not the greatest angles, but it's just a little overview of what goes down. And yeah, I have my check off tomorrow, so woohoo. There's probably not a lot of mistakes, but the start technique could be better on my part. I'm pretty sure if you see a mistake I did, just comment down below what it is. For my catheter check off, we get to fix our mistakes by watching our video, and anything we catch and we correct, the points will be given back to us. And then I need to start studying for my head-to-toe assessment, which I'll give you a little preview of